Basketball is supposed to be predictable. 4 quarters, 10 players, 1 ball, rules, records, and routines. But every once in a while, something happens that doesn't belong on a basketball court. Moments so strange, so disturbing, so unbelievable, that even veteran fans struggle to explain them. Games that turned into riots, celebrations that ended careers, injuries so rare doctors had barely seen them before, deaths, collapses, objects falling from the sky, and nights where the NBA felt less like a sport and more like a dark documentary. Because behind the highlights, the championships, and the superstars is another side of the league. A side the NBA doesn't like to replay. A side filled with chaos, tragedy, and moments that made entire arenas fall silent. In this video, we're not talking about the greatest shots. We're not talking about the best players. We're counting down the weirdest moments in NBA history. The rarest, the darkest. The ones that made fans ask, did that really just happen? From freak accidents that changed lives forever to nights the league wishes never existed, this is the NBA, like you've never seen it before.
Wallace right at our chest. This has potential to be serious if they don't get between.
The game that turned into chaos. On November 19, 2004, a simple NBA game between the Detroit Pistons and Indiana Pacers exploded into one of the strangest, darkest moments in league history. A hard foul led to shoves. Shoves led to punches. And soon, the players weren't the only ones involved. Fans climbed over the stands, throwing drinks, chairs, and fists. Ron Artest even lay on the scorer's table to escape the chaos. Security struggled, cameras captured pandemonium, and the arena transformed into a battlefield. Suspensions were handed out, careers altered, and the NBA had to rethink its relationship with fans forever. This wasn't a game. It was chaos incarnate. A shocking reminder that even the most professional arenas can descend into total anarchy in seconds.
Working out on your own, or whether you are...
Freak leg injury in a scrimmage. It wasn't a regular NBA game, just a Team USA scrimmage. No fans, no pressure, no reason for disaster. Then Paul George chased a fast break, jumped to block a shot, and his leg hit the stanchion. What happened next was unthinkable. His lower leg bent in a way human bodies are never meant to bend. Players gasped. Coaches scrambled. Silence fell over the arena. The footage was so disturbing that it barely aired. Careers often end after injuries like this. Yet, against all odds, Paul George returned, defying the impossible. This moment wasn't just an injury. It was a freak accident, one of the rarest and most shocking the league has ever witnessed.
After good defense by Mobley. No finish though by Sean, and he's hurt. Left knee.
When a player slammed himself through the glass, some injuries are freak accidents. Some are almost impossible to believe. In 2007, during a routine fast break, Sean Livingston drove to the basket. He collided mid-air with another player and fell awkwardly. His knee bent the wrong way, his body twisting violently. But the real horror came next. He slammed into the stanchion and shattered the backboard behind him. Glass exploded. The arena fell silent. Teammates and fans watched in horror as Livingston lay motionless. The injury was so severe that many thought his career was over before it even began.
I'd like to take a moment to recognize Terrence Clark.
The NBA draft is a celebration of dreams. But in 2021, it became something deeply unsettling. Terrence Clark, a top prospect, had died in a car crash weeks before the draft. Yet when his name was called, the league honored him on stage. Cameras focused on his grieving family. His mother walked forward holding his jersey. The arena stood in stunned silence. Drafting a player is about the future, but that night, it was about absence, about a life that ended before it could even reach the league. Fans and players alike were haunted by the eerie reality. The NBA had just drafted a player who was no longer alive.
Puts it on the floor. Hey, it's Strauss, and he brought it down! He brought the whole goal down!
Shaq, shattering the rim. Shaquille O'Neal was unstoppable, not just as a player, but as a physical force of nature. Multiple times, his dunks shattered rims and even glass backboards. Crowds gasped. Games were delayed. New rules were created. Shaq was too powerful for the very equipment designed to contain him. What should have been a simple dunk turned into chaos. The arena echoed with shattering glass and stunned silence. It wasn't just a display of strength, it was a bizarre spectacle, a reminder that sometimes the sport itself can't contain the athletes it produces.
Sounded like a melon that had been dropped on the floor.
The punch that almost ended a career. Few NBA moments are as shocking as Rudy Tomjanovich being punched mid-game by Kermit Washington. One hit, and his face was almost unrecognizable. Bones shattered, blood poured, and his career and life hung in the balance. Fans screamed. Teammates froze. The arena became a place of horror rather than sport. And death of Reggie Lewis, 1993. Reggie Lewis was a rising star, beloved by Boston fans. But during a playoff game in 1993, he collapsed on the court. Initially, doctors struggled to understand why a heart condition was suspected. He returned too soon, pushing his body beyond limits. Weeks later, during an off-season workout, he collapsed again and tragically died at just 27. The NBA had witnessed freak injuries before, but nothing this haunting or rare. It was a moment that froze fans, teammates, and the league in fear. One of the strangest and saddest moments in basketball history, it showed that even elite athletes are not immune to the unpredictability of life.
Oh, beautiful pass to McCaw and a foul. What a gorgeous look that was by Bell. Let's hope McCaw's all right.
Freak, impossible injuries. Sometimes, the weirdest injuries are the simplest. Vince Carter dislocated a finger during a high five. Other players twisted ankles while simply stepping on a court marking. Some injuries came from celebratory gestures, accidents no one could predict. These moments are almost impossible to replicate and almost comically bizarre. But for the players, they were devastating. The rarest injuries often come from the most ordinary actions, proving that in professional basketball, the line between normal and catastrophic is razor thin.
Wallace going into the stands.
The malice at the Palace expanded. The malice at the Palace wasn't just a brawl, it was a perfect storm of rage, chance, and chaos. What began with a foul escalated into players throwing punches at each other. Then, fans leapt from the stands, drinks and debris flew, and one of the most chaotic scenes in sports history unfolded. Cameras caught surreal moments, players trying to escape into the scorer's table, fans swinging chairs, referees dodging blows. The league was stunned. Careers were derailed. Security protocols changed forever. This moment wasn't just weird, it was a nightmare unfolding live, proving that unpredictability in sports doesn't just belong on the court. It can erupt from the stands at any moment.
One injury changing everything.
The weirdest, darkest NBA moment ever. Terrifying on. Court collapse. Every player fears it, but almost no one expects it. A total collapse in front of thousands of fans. One player, healthy, strong, at the peak of his career, suddenly falls mid-game. Teammates rush to help. Fans panic. Emergency personnel flood the court. The footage is surreal, almost cinematic, like something from a horror movie. Careers can be ruined, and life itself may hang by a thread. This is the weirdest, darkest NBA moment, where reality and sport collide in ways no one could predict. It's rare, horrifying, and unforgettable. A reminder that basketball is beautiful, but also dangerously unpredictable. If you thought these moments were shocking, the NBA is full of even stranger stories waiting to be uncovered. Which of these weirdest moments left you speechless? Comment below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you never miss the dark side of basketball history.